All right, next one. Cilantro.
What?
Cilantro.
What's that mean?
It's a kind of green herb. It's coriander.
I love you.
What?
It's coriander.
What do you use that on?
Okay, fresh herb or soapy taste.
What,
It's a herb.
And they
what would I
literally
have it on? And what was
they
it?
sprinkle it on fucking everything in this country.
I don't know.
I like it.
I don't know whether I like it or not. I can't.
It's like the little green flaky bits that are on
Name
everything.
one food that you go with it tastes like that. I haven't got a clue what it would taste like.
Daddy doesn't eat much things that are green.
No.
Crazy. Hey, but that's how it goes.
I need to go to a happier place.
I feel romantic.
Shut up, Ozzy!
Just go to bed, darling.
All right, change the subject.
Hello and welcome to the Osbourne's podcast.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Kelly.
I'm Ozzy.
And I'm
Mama.
Big Mama.
You fucking wish. You're like the tiniest person in the goddamn world.
No,
Mom.
I'm naming myself after the dog. We call Heidi Big Mama.
Why do you call her Big Mama? She's like...
Because she gave birth to all the others, so she's Big Mama. Okay.
Anyway, are you ready to hear the topic of today's episode?
Yes.
It is called The Great Debate.
Ooh.
So we're going to be debating all sorts of different things. And the first section is about food. So it's food frenzies. First one is double dipping, acceptable sharing or a hygiene horror?
What
Double dipping, like let's say you have French fries and you dip into the ketchup and you have a bite and then you dip that same French fry into the ketchup again. That's considered double dipping.
Is that wrong to do? Or?
Well, it depends who you're dipping with.
I wouldn't do that because I don't have ketchup on my fries.
But let's say you're eating guacamole with chips.
Is that not politically correct?
I don't think it's about political correctness. I think it's more about hygiene because you get like your spit on it
goes
and then...
in my mouth.
It depends who you're doing it with, though.
Oh, I see.
Family
if you're
is
dipping
okay.
in the same dip as me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, now I see it. Oh, I wouldn't like that.
I wouldldn't care if it was either one of you.
No,
I wouldn't care if it was...
It's like when we go to Japan and we have that fucking slurp pot on the table. I used to freak out.
Explain. What slurp pot?
Where you cook the food and it's bubbling and you put your beef in and your noodles.
Oh, okay,
and
yes.
dip it and you all use your chopsticks and then the chopstick goes in your mouth and you go back into the
I
bubble
used to go,
pot.
fuck that. Oh, I don't know.
I'm not into that. And you know what else I'm really not into? Is the idea of a buffet.
Well,
Because everyone walks past it, everyone touches shit and puts it back and they breathe and cough.
Oh,
and
my
it's
God.
just like, no.
Do you remember years ago how big the buffets used to be?
when I
They
went
used to
when I
stand
went-
in
when I
line
went
at
to
Vegas.
Russia, the last time, it's the hotel, they had a fucking spread in the morning. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
I can't do it.
Every known fucking food style you can imagine.
It makes me feel like a pig in a trough.
Yeah.
Like I'm
But you always,
I can't do it.
When you do use it, you always all after that. You go, I've got to eat the fucking stuff now.
And people pile their plates up like this.
I love that Bristol, that place up the road here, on the roof. It was fucking awful.
Where?
Where they got elevator up to the floor with a restaurant on the roof. It's like it's Soho houses.
Oh yeah, Soho House. They have it. Their Sunday buffet.
It's not mass.
It's not.
It's just right. It's not too much.
I
It's
don't
just
like
right.
it. It's fucking.
I wouldn't say double dip with people say that are not family. I wouldn't do it.
Like, if it's my baby, I don't care. If it's my boyfriend, I don't care. If it's you guys, I don't care. If it's Daniel, I don't care.
Daniel.
Like Daniel, my best friend. There's certain people that I'm like, whatever. I know what you do.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But-
that's it on double dipping.
Right. What about pineapple on pizza?
Yeah.
Delicious combination or a culinary crime?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I can do that.
I wouldn't, but
Because
I don't like the
when we used to go
combo.
to Germany, we'd have toast. We'd bring a pineapple on toast and cheese on top of the, like a square of cheese on top. That's kind of like what a pizza would taste like.
I think it's a culinary crime.
See, I'm not into...
I like the fact that it's unusual. I always just said to Mum, it would be great if they had a new taste, a new food.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting when you start doing things like that. No, I didn't go head over heels about it, but it was an interesting thing.
I don't know. I just... No,
The
I
one
don't
thing
like
I think
it on
should be
pizza.
banned on pizza is fucking anchovies.
Ah, fucking hate an
I
anchovy.
hate
Who wants to
them.
eat a hairy fish?
I know, I used to know this guy used to love a fucking anchovy.
Oh, God, my dad used to...
I think they're
eat them.
disgusting. I think they stink.
Anchovies,
no. They smell like a
rotten.
cat's ass.
They smell like an old clitoris.
Ma, Dad, please.
Oh, no. It's definitely pussy ass. Couldn't do it.
Also, can I just say about pineapple? I don't like pineapple because it makes the roof of my mouth itch.
Itch. Yeah,
Itch,
sometimes
and
it does me.
Makes me fucking itch. And I don't like the way men talk about pineapples and drinking pineapple juice.
Men
What?
talk about
Well, you should love this
pineapples?
one, Mom, because it is sex talk. Because all kids go around saying like, "Yeah, I've been drinking my pineapple juice. Come suck my dick," because it's
What?
supposed to make your semen taste like pineapples.
Oh, fuck off.
Fuck off. What
That's
a load of
that
bollocks.
is. This is what people say, Mum. This is what people say.
Okay, next one.
Alrighty then. Go on.
Ketchup on hot dogs, acceptable condiment or
Yeah.
sacrilege?
No,
It's whatever you want. It's personal
Except,
taste.
that's what I
Whatever.
have.
What, are you not supposed to put ketchup on a hot dog?
This must be a new thing.
I thought that just is what you're supposed to put on it.
Mustard,
Yeah, ketchup or mustard.
relish, whatever,
both.
whatever floats your boat.
I always remember being the kind of kid that would literally suck on a ketchup bottle because I was
I know.
obsessed with ketchup.
Go on.
You could get me to eat anything if it had ketchup on it.
Most kids. Go on.
All right, next one. Cilantro.
What?
Cilantro.
What's that mean?
It's a kind of green herb. It's coriander.
I love you.
What?
It's coriander.
What do you use that on?
Okay, fresh herb or soapy taste? To me, it tastes like soap.
I like it.
What,
It's a herb.
And they
what would
literally
I have it on? And what was
they sprinkle it on fucking everything in this country.
I don't know.
I like it.
I don't know whether I like it or not. I can't.
It's like the little green flaky bits that are on
Name
everything.
one food that you go where it tastes like that.
When you go to,
Steak.
they put it on steak. They put it on
I'm fucked if I know what
On
you're talking-
pizza.
pizza. They put it on your burritos.
I haven't got a clue what it would taste like.
Daddy doesn't eat much things that are green.
No.
Because I don't get them.
What do you mean you don't get them? You don't understand them, or you don't want
I
them?
don't get them very often. I mean, I don't get many peas, fucking
You
cabbage.
just don't eat a lot of vegetables anyway.
Yeah, because I don't get them on the food I get.
Okay.
Oh, so it's your fault.
You should learn to cook, Mum.
It's a bit late.
Could you
Oh, yeah.
imagine? You'd
Mom's
really
a good-
burn this fucking house down if Mum starts cooking. Steak. Well done or medium rare?
Well done.
Well done. You have to send my steak to
Burnt,
fucking hell and back.
burnt, and I can only eat it if it's very, very thin. I can't eat it if it's like thick and bloody. That's
So it's a
me.
long, thin steak.
I don't like the idea of eating anything that has blood on it.
Ah.
Oh,
Watch yourself.
I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah, you're just thinking it instead. Go on.
It like I can't eat like when I see people eating a medium rare steak, it makes me literally want to gag.
Well,
Because
when
I
used to
don't
work
like
in the
eating
stores,
meat
though,
anyway.
What did they say here? Wipe its ass and put it on a plate?
No.
What?
Knock the horns off, wipe his head and put it on the plate.
Oh, it's disgusting.
I fell down went down the blood chute one day in the slaughterhouse, and it was fucking.
Do you want to say that again slowly?
I went down.
When he
down the
fell down at the slaughterhouse and there was blood everywhere.
Did you-
down into the fucking tank?
Oh,
It was fucking awful.
Oh, that smell.
Oh,
You can't get that smell out.
I was
It's disgusting.
under blood.
when they used to have butcher shops in England and we would go
Walk
in.
past them.
Oh, and the
it's such a-
men would have
You've never
aprons all
seen
covered
anything
in
like
blood.
You've never seen anything like what your eyes to see.
I know that. I couldn't imagine.
I never wake up though and think tonight I'm going to eat steak for dinner. I never think
tell
of
you what.
eating it.
Jack's middle child, Andy, she wakes up in the middle of the night and requests steak.
You want to see kosher why they do that? It's fucking awful. It's unbelievable.
Well, because don't they hang it upside down and then...
Turn-
So
It's a
the
tourniquet
adrenaline
and-
doesn't
and
go
they-
into the meat.
It goes. It's fucking brilliant. This windpipe. It's fucking.
Thank
It's
you for that
really in
visual.
fucking agony.
And for people who don't know, Ozzy knows about this because he used to, when he was a very, very young man.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
old were you? 18, 17?
17.
17. The only job he could get was working in a slaughterhouse. And he threw up every day.
I
the
would
first-
too.
For the first couple of weeks, I was throwing up every fucking day.
What about when you see them, the animals crying because they know what's going to happen to them?
Yeah, you just kill them.
Oh, stop
Stop
it.
it,
Stop
you're a
trying to be...
softie.
No,
Yeah,
no,
stop
but-
trying to be all tough.
No. But when you're young, you know, if it was now, I don't want to kill a fucking fly.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything like that anymore. It's what life teaches you, you know. I mean, I'll eat meat, but I wouldn't want to fucking kill an animal.
I really don't eat that much meat. I don't
I'll
like...
try to
None
go
of us do.
vegetarian, but you know, what's the fucking bag of chips is vegetarian around here.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Go on.
Milkshake and french fries. To dip or not to dip?
Oh, no. I couldn't do that.
Oh, you're missing out, Mom.
Oh, God, no.
If you take your french fry and dip it in your milkshake.
Oh, no.
No. couldn't
Oh,
do
you
that.
two are missing out. It's good. It's good. I'm not into...
So you
gross
do that, but you would
weirdness.
never pineapple on your pizza.
Yeah, no. Yeah, because I sit there and my tongue is just like
That's what I was
scratching
saying.
the roof of my
It all
mouth
depends
the whole time.
on how fucking where you are, you know, what you like to do. Some people love it.
It's some of the... That sounds like something people would do when they're drunk.
Yeah, he does. It does.
Why do you think I love it so much?
Okay,
No, I'm
moving
joking.
right along.
No, I think it is more of something that somebody would do if they've smoked a lot of weed and has the munchies.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's same difference.
Go on, then.
I'm telling you, you're missing out. I almost want to get you a milkshake and some French
No,
fries so
couldn't
you can
do it.
try it, but it's good. You two are boring.
We are. Go on.
Okay, Oreos. Do you split them apart or do you bite right into them?
I don't really like them.
I like them.
I like them.
I just bite right into it.
I think it's too much effort and you have to have the right amount of pressure on each side so it doesn't crumble and it becomes like a science experiment for me and I get too frustrated with it. So I just
You
fucking
do that
cookie.
when you've eaten too many of them.
But they also have Oreo Thins, which are great too.
I haven't had those.
They're good. Okay.
I tell you what is much better than Oreos. Jaffa cakes.
Well, no. Jammy Dodgers, Mum.
No, Jaffa cakes.
Jammy
Jammy
Dodger.
Dodgers or what are them fucking things? The other ones, the square ones,
After Eights.
cream.
Oh, you're talking about Jacob's
the
cream
square,
crackers.
yeah.
Little square ones.
The square ones with the cream inside.
Yeah.
Those are really good.
I don't know what that is.
I think it's Jacob's cream crackers, aren't they?
No, that's just a plain like water biscuit.
That's what Dad's on about.
Oh,
A water biscuit
No,
with
it's not a water biscuit.
with cream inside, and then
It's a creamy, it's a cream colour.
yeah,
That's square.
yeah.
Get them in England.
They're so
Cream,
good.
Something cream.
Don't know.
English cookies or American cookies?
What?
English.
English.
English? What?
Do you like English cookies or American cookies better?
Oh, English.
English for sure. I agree. Unless you go to Japan and then they just change the game for everyone.
Well, everything. The trees have got sugar coming off them in Japan.
I mean,
Everything's got
Japan,
sugar.
I really know to make it. It's sugar. It's fucking fierce.
I've never tasted bread with so much sugar in as they do in Japan. It's loaded.
They put sugar in everything there.
And their bread's like that thick.
I love it. It's like Texas
Toast,
toast, but it's like fresh and made like and tastes like it's come from a bakery. And you can take the whole loaf and squidge it. It's like the best.
You're making me hungry.
Sorry.
Go on.
Okay. Next category is ethical quandaries.
What?
Ethical quandaries. So,
What does
for
that mean?
example, animal testing. Is it necessary for scientific progress or is it animal cruelty?
Well, I don't know.
Worst thing I've ever seen was when they used to get the monkeys and put cigarettes in their mouth.
What do you mean?
They used to get monkeys, strap this head thing with a cigarette in all day to test to see how long it would take for it to get cancer. With
That's
a cigarette
fucking
in its
horrible.
mouth. I know,
And
hideous.
they send it crazy with cocaine, and he becomes addicted to it. You know?
I've seen that one about the monkey and cocaine.
Oh,
I just don't understand. There's so many people out there that are dumb enough to put themselves up for scientific testing. So why
I
can't
used
they
to
just
know.
test
I
on
used to know a
humans?
guy who used to do that. And he said, you just get low on money, but sometimes they get fucking sick. You know.
Of course they do.
I feel like there's got to be other ways of testing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that invent it, they should test it on themselves.
What if it's a cure for cancer? How can they test it on someone who hasn't got cancer? If they invent it and they haven't got cancer.
Well, people do put themselves up for medical studies all the time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what about the death penalty? Just punishment or morally wrong?
I think if it's hands down, without a shadow of doubt, that they did the crime, that should be put to death. What's the point? They're never going to get out of jail.
Yeah.
Mind you, paedophile.
I think that if you're a paedophile, you should have your genitals removed.
And they should put them on your forehead.
I mean, Gary
Strap it
Glitz
to your
is
forehead.
Tattoo your forehead.
in and out of jail all the time.
He's disgusting.
He's obviously incurable. They never get paedophiles. They don't last long in jail, really. Especially over here.
Yeah. I mean,
They get.
Well,
I mean,
okay, look at this one. People that kill their children.
I don't understand how somebody could get into a position where they would ever do
Yeah, but,
something like that. That's a thought process.
I can't understand why not parents, a parent will snap. They got like kids, young
But
kids.
not to kill their child.
No. There was one that I was watching on YouTube the other day about this woman over here tortured. She had other kids, and she fucking starved this kid to death.
I
And
saw
kept him in a
that.
cage. That one.
What?
Is it the one where she kept him in a cage and starved him, and the boyfriend put cigarettes out on the baby?
No. This woman, and the judge says to her, he says, you're not happy that he's dead, because it's not that he's dead. You're not happy because he died. You're happy because you've lost your sense of enjoyment. And the judge really fucking read it down to her. I don't understand why people can do that. You know, I can understand an accident, or parent going, fucking killing you, and snapping and whacking it too hard. But for someone to sit down and go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you know, think about what they're going to do, torture the kid. It's fucking wrong. It should be killed.
I just think that the death penalty should, depending on the crime. Depending on the crime, then yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is a place for it. But I would never want to play God.
Well, you would never want to.
Play God. I would never want to be could you imagine the judge and the jury, and you'd have to sit there and listen to everything, and you knowing that the decision you made could ultimately lead to somebody's death.
Okay,
and what if
okay.
you're wrong?
If something was
If
to
it's
happen to a
beyond a
kid
shadow
yours,
of doubt.
if something was to happen to a kid of yours, would you want the person put to death?
If someone did something to my kid, and my kid was made unalive, I don't give a shit what happened to me. I would kill the motherfucker.
No, but you can't do that.
I know you can't. That's why I said I don't care what would happen to me.
No, but what I'm
I
saying, you went through the legal process and he got condemned to death. Would you want him dead, or would you say?
I'd want him dead.
Well, what if it was an accident? Accidents happen all the time.
If he was
See, you have
proved,
to look at it that way. If
it
it's
was proved,
But I thought we were talking about murder.
If it was proved without a shadow of that they went and kidnapped a kid and fucking sexually abused it, that's one thing. But that's a good question. If a guy, the kid ran out in the road and run the kid over, and it wasn't intentional, the kid's still gone. But that's a different.
It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing.
That's a
You
life
can't-
imprisonment thing. But yeah. Oh, that would be life imprisonment, or a good prison.
A prison term, but I don't think it deserves life.
I'm specifically talking about murder.
Murder.
Like if somebody murdered
If
my
somebody,
kid.
if somebody actually run your kid over by accident, that's a prison sentence. But if somebody actually planned to kidnap your kid and sexually abuse him, whatever the fuck, and kill it, that's a fucking death sentence.
Yeah.
Next one.
Okay, so the next one. This one's interesting. Human cloning. Scientific breakthrough or an ethical boundary? I personally think that it is the most disgusting thing that humans are trying to do.
I
You're
do
playing
too.
God.
Yeah, you are.
If they've cloned animals, they've definitely have
Cloned
already
humans,
cloned
yeah.
people.
I saw this thing online, and I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory or what, but it was this woman, and she was giving a speech of what appeared to be a press conference, saying that on a certain date, the first baby was born to human clothing. But I was like, is this real or is this fake? Because she didn't look like a doctor. And
It'd be interesting if and you know they've grown a person in a fucking test tube.
Of course they have. I don't agree with it, but
Well, I don't
mean,
agree with it, but you know.
You're not going to stop
do you
people
know why
doing
I
it.
think they're trying to do it?
Do tell.
I think they're trying, this is just my conspiracy theory. They're trying to do it so that you can have a double of yourself in case you ever need an organ. Or you need...
Oh yeah, but now you'll have a menu.
Mm-hmm. And you can take that person
Einstein,
and...
brain, intelligence, look like this one or that one.
And I just think
So-
that's messing with...
If they could cosmetically make people, a girl look like Barbie.
Okay, what do you think about, you can't have children, okay? So you get somebody's egg, and you want a child, so you get somebody's egg, some bloke's sperm, and then you find a woman to have that baby for you.
See, this is where I get upset, because if you're going to do it that way, you might as well just adopt. And there are so many kids in the foster system that...
I agree.
If you're going to do it that way, it's wrong and you should adopt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it's an
I'm in the
experiment.
middle
And
of
I
that.
know people are going to come down on me for saying it, but you're
the
right,
thing is
adopt.
here, that's what you do. That's what they do here. They get you.
But if it's your egg,
if it's your egg and somebody else's
sperm, I
your
think
partner's-
it's okay.
Yeah, but say you don't have eggs for whatever medical reason, you don't have eggs, so you get somebody's egg, somebody's sperm, and some person to actually hatch the egg for you.
No.
I think that is...
It's not. You don't know whether you're going to get a nutter or...
I think that you take that risk when you have your own children, but I don't like the idea of creating life when there's already life here that you can.
I agree with you.
can
Yeah, I agree.
take care of.
Definitely.
And when I think about the idea of human cloning, the number one thing you need as a baby is love. If you don't have love, and this is what I'm learning with my kid, if you don't give them love, they don't learn. They don't grow. They don't develop. And one of the things that makes me so happy is that my baby is happy. What these test tube children and
What if you have one like
clones,
you, mischievous?
whose fault is that?
Do you ever think about when a child is so innocent, they're so young, say you get a 2-year-old and you say, did you take those sweeties? And they go, no, I didn't. How do they learn to lie so early? What is that?
It's
that
fear.
kids lie?
It's fear. Because they know that
No.
they're not supposed to.
No, Mum, it's a fear. It's a
It's
good
the fear
question.
of getting in trouble.
No, but how do they know what trouble is?
Because
They
they've
don't-
probably been in trouble.
They
But-
don't know that young. don't.
How do they know? No, I haven't taken the sweeties.
And they've got it behind their back. I mean, it's an innocent thing, but isn't it
How
amazing
do they-
that kids know how to lie at such a young age?
It's terrifying. If anything, I think it's terrifying. And
But it's amazing when you see it in somebody so young and so innocent, and they don't know the repercussions.
You know, there's things, Sharon, there's things around, there's things around in everyday life which kids pick up to. I mean, little baby Sid, from the moment he was like always looking around. When he came into the world, he was like, wow, he'd been in a womb for 9 months. Now I'm here, wow. Can you imagine?
Or even, when you've got two babies and they're playing and one takes something away from the other and they won't give it back. It's amazing that those
It's
human
primal
reactions.
instinct.
It is primal,
Primal
instinct.
instinct.
Okay, next one. I know how I feel about this, but zoos, necessary for education or unnatural captivity?
Unnatural captivity.
I think that if it's a sanctuary, it's necessary.
That's
Because-
different than a
What
zoo.
are you talking about now?
Zoos.
Like a zoo.
A zoo.
A zoo.
Yeah,
I don't think they should have a zoo.
I think they're wrong.
I think they're wrong because you'll.
Safari parks are okay, but to put a fucking... I was watching a thing about this elephant had been chained up for 50 years. From the moment he was born, he was chained up. And he was depressed, and he was dying, he was. So this fucking guy went and bought the elephant off this guy, and he gave him freedom, and the elephant was fucking so happy, and it was just wonderful.
It's when you go to zoos and you see something like an elephant, a tiger, a lion going back and forth
Didn't you ever
and
see
back
that
and
thing
forth in
in
a
Hawaii
cage.
when that elephant went fucking
Yeah,
nuts?
rogue.
That was fucking sad.
I just think it's unfair
Circuses-
to take an animal and put it into essentially
A
a
box.
box. Yeah, and
I mean,
have people just staring at it all
when the
day.
circus, when I was a kid, and the circus came to town, it was fucking unbelievable. And I went to the park where they were in Aston Park, and the lions. I'm going, what the fuck, dude?
but then I think that I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I do take my son to the zoo.
Yeah, but you could take them to the safari park as well.
I don't know where there is a safari park anymore.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know
just
here,
have them.
but yeah, they do. They do.
I just think that unless they're cultivating the animal so
The
that it
sickest
stops
thing
it
I
from
think
going extinct,
Extinct.
it's
There was
not.
a guy, and he would go around to this place and buy old animals, like fucking old lions, and he would have a plot of land in Florida or something, and people would go and pay, like a menu, so much to shoot a lion.
Oh
So
no!
and they were fucking time, you know. That guy's fucking shoot
I
them.
think that's disgusting, and I really, 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 and I don't like saying this word, but hate people who go and hunt big game and
What about that
that's what I said
bastard
earlier on.
dentist that shot the...
I don't want
the
to kill
lion?
anything anymore. I really don't.
I don't like killing beautiful animals. Any animal.
Okay,
not
are you ready
into
for the
it.
next one?
Come on.
Drugs. Should all drugs be decriminalized?
No. No.
Should all drugs be decriminalized?
Yeah, because I'll tell you why. Because the cost of treatment, the cost of policing and the courts and everything outweigh. Because they're still going to do what they're doing in Portugal. There's an area,
Yeah, I've seen this.
and they just say you got to do it there. You don't come over.
Yeah.
It's there.
Right. So you think it's fine to have as much fentanyl going on in...
No, but they get people telling people, and I'm not saying I'm going to use it or you, and you know, you try and contain it in one area.
I don't think you can trust human beings enough not to become addicted to it. And
I mean, alcohol's legal, tobacco's legal. Tobacco is the most addictive thing I ever put in my body. And then fucking vaping pipes are insane.
God, it's disgusting. And people go on a vapor pen to get off tobacco.
No,
No, they do.
It's
They
a drug.
think that vaping
Nicotine
helps
is the
them
most
get off.
addictive drug I ever put. I know people who are addicted to heroin or heavy drugs. They give it got off it, but they can't stop smoking. Billy,
only time I ever liked a cigarette is if I was a bit pissed. But outside of that, I think the taste, the smell.
Sorry,
And I
I
think
just...
I look like a twat with
when
a
that
cigarette
gets
in
a
my
hold
head.
of
You do.
when
I
that-
look so stupid. I don't look sexy. I don't
And
look
Jack.
cool.
And Jack,
I look
too.
like a child trying to be cool. It doesn't. It
But
doesn't.
what I'm saying,
work.
tobacco is very, very addictive.
I wonder if it's actual tobacco or the chemicals they put inside of
No,
cigarettes.
tobacco.
The whole
nicotine.
9 yards. It's all disgusting. When you see a woman sat there and she's got smoke coming out of her nose. It's like...
But that's legal.
Okay, you ready?
Go on.
AI. Should we fear it or will it advance us?
Well, I do
Bollocks.
fear it, but it's already here.
Yeah, I'm scared of it. It's going to run the world one day. And if it learns to have feelings and it learns the feeling of hate, it's all
When it
over.
starts to be able to learn to think for itself,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you got to worry.
It'll give it emotions next.
That's what I'm saying.
It will. It'll give it emotions
And then you'll have
because
people married to
won't
robots.
stop. People won't stop. It'll go to the next stage, and then they'll take
But
over.
they said that about when. Yeah, I don't
One
know.
of the robots I at Tesla
Had a wobbler.
and attacked one of the scientists. And I think that
When he starts to think about it, and he starts to learn to scheme and go, I don't like this fucking guy. I thought, it's all science fiction. But somebody once said to me, well, what's science fiction today is science fact tomorrow.
okay. What about marriage? Still necessary or outdated?
All down to the individual.
I'm an old timer with your mum. I'm glad I married your mum.
Me too.
I'm glad you did too.
But in the modern society, the hippie in me goes, if you marry to someone, you're there because you have to be there to a certain degree. But if you're not married to someone, you're there because you want to be.
Yeah.
It's probably stupid.
I don't know.
I don't think that's stupid. I think that
If you're going to have children, kids need to be brought up in a structured environment. And the thing is,
that's not what I'm saying. I mean,
that
we
doesn't
weren't
mean you have
married-
to get married.
If we were married, we were still together. Just because you got a piece of paper saying, I don't know. It's a very interesting thing to see.
Well, because marriage used to be a necessity because women had no other way of leaving their home unless they got married. And it was a sense of ownership. And I don't think those days...
I mean, women are on
it's not necessary anymore. It's
talking
changed.
of which, I do think that if a woman does the same work as a man, she should get the same pay.
I agree.
Here, fucking here. But
you have no idea how much less I get paid for doing the same job as some of my male counterparts.
I know.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? I have to pay for more shit just to exist because I'm a woman.
don't talk to me about that. What about when I was stuck with two guys who I really liked, I really respected them, on the same show? They both had private planes, and I had a fucking American airline ticket.
I know.
And everywhere they would go, they had a private plane. And I was like, even to say, can my assistant sit next to me so I don't have to get stuck next to somebody I don't know? Mm-hmm. No, you pay for it.
I remember when you complained about a hotel.
That is really wrong.
I remember when you complained about a hotel and somebody said that you should be kissing the ring of your boss because you are so lucky to have your job.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
remember
That was CBS.
when you one of your mouth allowed you to go on their jet. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it was, one of them was had a phobia for germs, so he had to have his own plane. And the other one, I do agree, was a huge star, didn't want to, mix with the general public because it would be, inconvenient. And he had his own plane. But it's like, no, hold on. And I'm devoted the most favorite on the show. Mm-hmm. I get a ticket because I'm a woman. And when I asked for it, do you know what they said?
What?
You don't like it?
You can leave, yeah.
You can leave.
Next one.
All right. Okay, we're on to a new topic now.
Go on.
Which is education debates. Standardized testing, effective assessment, or is it a hindrance to learning? I think it is the biggest fucking joke. Because they're just catering to one kind of person. There are some people like myself who test really, really bad, but I have a higher IQ than the testing would allow me to show.
Okay, all right, do this. Go back 100 years to the 11 plus, right?
Didn't pass.
At 11, you get tested. Kids, you had your super bright kids, the guys in the middle that always get lost, and then you get the ones that aren't that bright for whatever reason.
I had a skill to survive.
Yeah, so did I.
But yet my reading ability and my academic abilities were very low.
That's because you were dyslexic, and there was no dyslexia in those days. But
there's a bullet would put you in a corner with a cone on your head with a D on it.
Dunce, yeah.
But this thing is, tests are not for the masses. And all these tests are for the masses, and we're all individual, and we all learn in a different way.
And how can a test that you take when you're 13 years old dictate the rest of your life? Or a test that you take to get...
It doesn't dictate
it does.
the rest. No, it doesn't.
Mom,
it doesn't dictate the rest of your life. What it dictates is the next 7 years of learning.
It's the foundation.
I don't agree. I think it dictates the rest of your life.
It's the foundation of the rest of your life.
Because it defines what school you go to, and that school defines what college you go to, and that college defines what degree you get, and that degree defines what job you get, and that job is the rest of your life.
Not necessarily, but for the majority, yes.
And I think standardized testing lumps just a few people into the right positions.
Well, when I left school, I had a leaving certificate that says, John Michael Osbourne has been a pupil of this school since such and such a date, and he's leaving in such a date. That was it. I had to go in the fucking world and show them my employer that.
Yeah,
so,
but then look at what happened to you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
He has the need to survive. Dad can look after himself, but when it comes to academics...
I got lucky, but there's a lot of kids where I come from who are still living in the same fucking houses.
Okay, what about sex education? Is it should it be in schools or should it be taught by your parents?
Both.
I think both, but I do think that they teach it too young here.
How old are they here when they teach it?
They start talking about sex education at 7, 6.
I mean, it should.
It's way too young.
It shouldn't be in the closet like it used to be.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
It's
there are
that-
case
it's like-
studies for
It's like
young...
you teach kids to wash themselves and you teach them what's right and wrong.
I don't want some stranger telling my kids about sex. For
before
me,
you have.
before I have,
Yeah.
and I don't know the way they're going to explain it. I don't want some stranger, Miss whoever her name is, telling my kids about intimate things in life. I would want to do that. But there are kids whose parents don't teach them
Don't teach them anything.
anything, but it
Well,
has to be at the
my
right
parents-
age. And everybody's an individual. Everybody matures differently. So
parents
I don't like the
Never
mass.
said a fucking thing to me.
Never.
So when you learn it in the playground, it's a dirty thing.
yeah.
It's like it's not. It's like the bad thing.
There
So-
are case studies that have shown that the younger that you teach sex education, the less like teen pregnancy, the less STDs.
Well, that's going to
the le-
happen anyway. Because some people just get pregnant, early.
I don't believe all those studies. It's like when MTV did that teen pregnancy show, and then they said, since we've been doing this show, teen pregnancies have gone down. Bullshit. Everybody wanted to get pregnant to be on TV. So I don't believe those studies.
You don't.
No, I don't, because it's all such an individual thing.
Yeah.
But you don't-
Everybody's
it's some
different.
strangers talking to your kid
No,
about sex.
no,
It's like some old pervy.
that's right.
It probably would suit the school better if they had a day where your parents came to school with you and they had a doctor explaining the parts of the body, and then the parents explain to the child what sex is.
But even look at that fucking guy with the athlete gels, and even the doctor.
The physiotherapist.
The physical therapist in
Yeah, no, listen, there's pubs everywhere. There's vicars that are pubs,
Yeah,
priests,
but what I'm saying,
teachers, they're everywhere.
I think the parents should wake up.
it's your responsibility as a parent to teach your child things like this. As
I think
uncomfortable
so.
as it makes you feel, you have to do it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like the way they are talking about sex is too clinical.
Yeah.
It's very, very clinical. It's not emotional. It's clinical, and I don't like that.
And what about dress codes?
Dress code.
Dress codes. Upholding professionalism, or is it suppressing individuality?
Oh, bollocks with the individuality. Bollocks.
In school, I think it is necessary.
Well-
I think it cuts down so much shit when it comes to kids having to size each other up and who
Yep.
has what and who doesn't.
Who's
and-
got the right shoes on? Who's got the right look?
Mum, I didn't understand any of that until we moved to America.
I know. No, I
I
don't.
I remember the
But
thing
you-
at the time was having a
but
Kate
You're
Spade.
a different person. You're not a run-of-the-mill person. You were born into shopping.
No, it's not
I'm
that.
talking about, like,
Ozzy,
let me
when
finish.
you were a kid, you had a uniform at school. So, but your parents couldn't afford it. But everybody should be dressed the same, so they're
My
not
brother went to
judged.
school with a uniform. I said, fuck that, I'm not wearing a uniform. It was a cab. You had drain pipes and fucking, one of the guys.
No, but you should have, the basic. You don't have to wear a hat, but you should wear a certain color, a certain look.
No, at school.
It takes away all the jealousies and people who don't have the wherewithal to look the same as their classmate.
No.
It's better.
I think it's better.
Even if you have a uniform, somebody will start wearing their cap like a...
Don't you remember, Mum, when I first went to Hawthorne in Beverly Hills when we moved
Yeah.
here, and I was like 12 years old, And I'd never been to a school where you could wear what you wanted to wear. That was a new thing for me. And when I got there, I just had a regular Jan Sport backpack. It was the 90s. I had that, and I had like my colorful Hello Kitty pens, and that was it. I didn't have the Kate Spade bag that everybody had. And I got made fun of on my first day of school, and I didn't understand any of it. They were all talking about what car they were going to get for their first car and how much money their dad made, and if they were a lawyer or a doctor or all of these things. And there was so much pressure in areas, and opened my mind into areas that I'd never thought about stuff like that.
I know.
I think if you were in our school, if you wanted to wear a uniform, it was great, but it wasn't mandatory.
I think in the workplace, there's, dress appropriately, like don't have your boobs out, and I think that there's got to be certain rules in that area because it's professionalism. But I do think that if you have colorful hair, you can have whatever hair color you want, and you can...
Okay, look at this. I don't know whether it's applicable now, but I can remember that the BA stewardesses and the ground staff weren't allowed to wear crosses because it was a religious symbol.
No, because there's so many. They said in English schools, you got to see your face at all time. And the Muslims said, well, that's our religion. And they said, you can't do it.
That's wrong.
And then they go, well, if we can't do that, you can't have Bibles or have crucifixes.
I think that's right. I think it's unfair to mess with somebody's religious beliefs.
Yeah, if you have to dress a certain way for your religion, or you want to let the world know what your faith is, fine. But with a cross, it can be a fashion statement.
Yeah, no.
It's not. It doesn't necessarily mean that's your religion.
Yeah, but so can a veil.
Yeah.
Be a fashion statement.
But you should be allowed to wear it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what your religion is. If you want to wear your religion, then wear it. That's it.
Okay, what about college? Is it still helpful, or is it potential waste of time?
You're the wrong fucking guy.
None of us have been to college, so but I will tell you this. I think it can be a waste of time at this point because you spend your life trying to pay it back. But I am making my son go.
No.
I want him to
go
go
to... By the time
to...
your son gets the internet, I mean...
Can I just finish?
Oh, I never said a word.
It's
Not
that
me.
I think that I want him to stay a kid and not have adult responsibilities for as long as I can possibly... I think that's a gift I can give him. Is not letting him grow up too fast.
If he wants to go. Because let me tell you something now. You look at the top universities around the world today, they brainwash you. They totally brainwash you. And that's not good. The kids look at it as a rite of passage. They go to college because of the socializing. They love to go, the partying, the socializing, the connections that they all make. It's looked at as something totally different than what it was meant to be years ago.
You've heard about all of the, I want to say this right.
The political
parties
that they put on
they
kids.
Pay the universities. Like there was one specific country that paid a very, very prestigious university in this country, something like 400 million billions of dollars to the school to teach them. Was it about Sharia law?
Arabic studies. I think that's what it came under.
But it actually is like, I don't think that universities and colleges should be allowed to accept money to change a curriculum.
I don't think they should be able to accept money from another country. Because if you've got $5 billion to give universities in America, you give it to your people for educating your people.
Yeah.
You keep it where the money is. So if you want to give it all to every university in Arab Emirates or wherever you come from, I don't care. But you shouldn't be allowed, like we shouldn't give money to China. China shouldn't give money to us to educate our people. And we shouldn't give them. And it's the same as I don't believe that countries like China could come to England and own the water system or the electricity
I think it's insane
system.
that because isn't it like China owns all of England's water system?
A lot of it, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and like, okay, I'll give you an example. There's a pub in Birmingham that was famous, very, very famous pub. It was an old Victorian pub, all original insides, everything. And so many bands used to play there. Zeppelin used to play there, Moody Blues, so many great bands in Birmingham. And it was bought, hold on 1 minute, it was bought by a Chinese company. The whole block was bought by a Chinese company. And these people were trying to say, whatever you turn it into, leave the pub and do whatever you want to do with the rest of the block, but please keep the pub. So they didn't, and they're going to knock it all down, and they're building whatever they're going to build there.
Where Savage used to play Henry Brazil.
No, it's not that. And so it takes the culture away.
Oh,
People don't understand that come from other countries.
Not the one in Barnes Arms.
No,
Near opposite Aston Road.
no, I'll think of the name. But anyway, I just don't think that it should be allowed that somebody could come in and own your infrastructure.
I think that's very strange.
Can you imagine if we went to Russia and said, we're buying all your oil?
No,
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
You're buying Red Square.
Yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to do it. It's very dangerous. Keep your money.
Right. Are you ready for the next debating category?
Go on.
It's parenting predicaments. And this first one, just reading it makes me angry because of what you guys know I went through.
What was it?
But naming children, traditional or unique?
I think I'm a bit, if you name John Osbourne, you name your kid John Osbourne. I'm not for that.
Okay, this is personal and I didn't expect to ever talk about this, but I'm going to. It's the biggest fight me and my baby's father have ever had, and probably ever will. Was over naming our son. I wanted our son to have both of our last names, and he wouldn't let me. And we had a huge fight. I feel that I was forced into doing something I didn't want to do. And I can never, ever forgive him for that. But we can move on. So right now, my son doesn't have a double-barreled last name. But after lots of eye-opening conversations and some couples therapy, he has seen the light, and we are going to legally change our son's name to have both of our last names.
Well, it's in his fiver.
I know we both made our child, so they should have both of our last names.
Yeah.
Not one is more important than the other, but you have to remember, Sid comes from a really traditional English family.
My father's name was John Mike Thomas. His father was John.
It's a very dated thing. It's a very, very dated mentality.
Don't even get me started, Mum, because it goes Sid's dad, then Sid, and now our son. But Sid told me that his grandfather had the same name, but he didn't. His grandfather's name was Fred. Fred! So why is my son the fourth? My son should be the third.
But the first, the second, the third, the fourth, what a load of bollocks, because your child is an individual. It's not the third of anything.
It drives
He's his
me
own person.
crazy, and it is the only, we don't fight, but that is the only thing that we have had, an all-out, fight over.
We're all so individual, and the thing is, you look at a child, what is that child? What name suits that child? I don't like to name a child before it's born.
But I love Sid's name. Don't get me wrong. I love my baby's name now. He is a Sydney.
No, Sydney's a great name.
Sydney is a Sydney. I don't
name.
mind the name that he has his name Sid. I don't mind that they have the same middle name. I mind.
You would. I think it's kind of crazy that the person who grew that child inside them doesn't have a same.
I had literally no say, and the other thing that got me is that I feel that it was more about pleasing his family than it was about pleasing me.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why.
I'm his partner.
I'll tell you why it's old-fashioned, because now women have more say in life, but 150 years ago, they were meant to have sex, have babies, clean the house up, and the man was the king of the house. The girl couldn't. They didn't have a say. But nowadays, it's all, it's so.
Your father wouldn't let me call you Kelly Lee.
I know. Oh, God, this is another thing. I'm on Dad's side about this because I think it's a cousin fucker name, Mum. Or you know what I mean? Like, it's Kelly Lee. Like, no. Or it sounds like...
It sounds like a fucking...
And Dad had my back. Dad had my back. Because on my birth certificate, it says Kelly Osbourne. And on my passport, it says my name is Kelly Lee Osbourne. Yeah. And I found my birth certificate...
Where did Lee come from?
Kelly LeBrock.
Kelly LeBrock.
Do you remember her from Weird Science?
She was
but
just the most gorgeous looking woman, and I was pregnant with Kelly, and I went, yes.
Kelly Lee.
Because it reminds me of a bell. Kelly Lee. Ozzy named Jack after his dad.
I know.
Yeah, but...
Jack is a Jack, though.
Yeah,
Jack is a Jack.
Jack is definitely a Jack.
Why is that? They call my father's birth name was John. Why do they call people with the name John, Jack?
I've no fucking idea. I don't get any of it about names. I don't fucking know. Next one.
Okay. Technology for kids. Beneficial for learning, or is it excessive screen time?
It can be both.
It can be both. I think so too. But I will say I've watched all the kids in our family, including mine sometimes, go downhill because of screen time.
But you know what the thing is? When you come now, I was in the kitchen just a while ago. I thought to myself, she's really quiet these days. He's got that laptop now. He's looking at.
He's got his little iPad, but I only play educational. He's only allowed to watch educational.
People do that. Keeps
programming, and he loves Miss Rachel. And
but as he gets older, he's gonna learn how to play war games and fucking things.
I know this, and I know that ultimately you can't stop them, and even if you don't do it at your house, they'll go to their friend's house and do it there. I will have limited time that they're allowed to do that.
You say that now.
You have to.
You say that now, but from experience, if you tell a kid it can't, it'll defy you and find a way.
Well, what about Miss Pearl, who was on her iPad for 15 hours in one day?
It's insanity. And
what's that girl?
It's the devil's highway. That's what I say. I should be a preacher. The devil is in that fucking thing. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Yes, great for educational tools. Great, brilliant.
But it's like the unpoliced nation.
But you're terrible with your iPad, Dad.
Because
you never stop.
I like that, because it stops me thinking. I never think anything fucking nice.
I understand that. As far as I'm concerned, as I've seen with what's going on now, my child, unless they need it for professional work, because I have this whole plan for my son where I'm going to build this company that he will then take over and he can do what he wants with. It will be for him. So if he needs that for work, he can have that. But I'm not letting my son until he's 18 be on social media. I think that it is the devil. I think that it hurts people.
But if you don't do it, as you just said, he'll find a way of getting...
He will, but at least I can control some of it. I might not be able to control everything, but I can control some of it.
You can. When he's in your house.
Yeah. when he's living in my house and
Yeah.
he'll be mad at me for it. I know it, but I am saving him from having to read the putrid things that people write because they can't fucking help
I'm sorry.
themselves.
I think that kids that have their own social media and all day long they're taking pictures of themselves and singing and dancing and showing off, it's absolutely heinous. And I think that parents that let them do it need help.
It's too much, and it sexualizes children too young. It's like they're so aware of their bodies and how their bodies move,
And there's the way they look, the way they dress, the way... I can remember I was listening to this woman who's probably one of the most famous women in the world, and she was being interviewed, and she was saying how proud she was of her daughter, and I think at the time she must have been about 8, about her fashion sense, and how proud she is of her because of her fashion sense. And I'm like, are you fucking nuts? Her fashion sense at 8? Who cares about a child's fashion sense at 8 and that child's thinking about the way they look at 8? To me, it's like shallow.
Kids have cosmetic surgery at 40.
That's too young. That's insane.
Way too young. Your face hasn't finished bloody setting. It's still bleeding soft.
Okay, what about this one? This one I have such a strong opinion on. The tooth fairy. Is it encouraging imagination or setting unrealistic expectations?
Oh, stop it.
It's
fantasy.
I think it's so important to have these things as children. I don't,
Innocence.
It's it's excitement. It's traditional.
It's a game you play.
And people say this about Santa Claus too. I'm not teaching my son or my daughter about Santa Claus. I'm like, you fucking rub your body with crystals and put oils all over yourself, thinking that that's gonna fucking heal you from some shit or protect you from evilness. But you won't let your child believe in fucking Santa Claus. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's not just the tooth fairy. It's everything that is fantasy and beautiful
you don't
and
believe
sweet.
in Disneyland. You don't. It's fantasy.
I think it's important. It grows imagination. That
course
grows
it does.
creativity.
It's harmless, sweet, nice things. It's nice, and
It's not blowing up a fucking house.
It's lovely.
I mean,
Innocent.
when Jack's wife used to get on to him about playing video games, he'd bring the fucking thing down here.
I know.
What's that got to do with the
I'm
tooth
confused.
fairy? What?
No, I'm saying they're playing the game. Oh fuck! I don't know.
Okay.
Right, next topic. Punishment styles. Where's the line in being too soft versus too hard? I'm still learning this. I mean, I would never hit my kid.
No.
I'd never. I couldn't live with myself.
No.
But I do think that I, as a parent, am way more strict about certain things than I see my friends being strict. But I'm not changing that because I've seen and experienced the fallout when you're not.
Well, the thing is, with things here, I think in this country, in America, it's about when your child is very little, you teach them morals, you teach them manners.
Or,
That's the basic things that you teach your child at this age, manners and morals. And it takes you through your whole life, those things. And it's very, very important. So unless a child says, please, may I, thank you, hello, how are you? And those social things can really carry you through your life. And it's the basics for every child. And it's very, very important. So if you say, please, mummy, may I have some? Or please, I would like this. Or please, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And
You guys were very, very serious about manners with us when we were kids. Very serious about it. And most people don't know this, but until we moved to America, we were not allowed to swear.
Not allowed to.
Not allowed to swear. And then when we moved to America, you were like, fuck it, do what you want.
No, it wasn't that. We've always sworn, but we're adults. When you were little, no, that's not for you to say. That's not for you to do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very different. And because you heard swearing, it wasn't, oh, I'm being naughty. It was just like no biggie.
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't going to go into your room and go, fuck, 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 shit, 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 like a lot of kids do because they know it's naughty. And, you know, they get a response from their parent. And so it was nothing. It was no biggie in the family.
Yeah, but we knew that we were not. I thought it was more because you didn't want us to go to school and have them pick on us for something else.
No.
Because of how strict they were in school there and how much they judge us. But, yeah, that's interesting.
But you knew instinctively it was wrong.
Yeah. Okay, what about drugs? Teach kids yourself or let them learn on their own?
Oh, you can't let them learn on their own. That's a hippieville.
I think you have to teach your kids
You
about
have
drugs.
to.
You have to.
But there's things out there now that I was watching online the other day. This fucking Dull Monkey. Something
Pardon?
called Dull Monkey.
Dull monkey.
It's like it's designer drugs.
Okay.
They're legal. But it's
Oh, the legal stuff that people are taking now. I don't know. I wouldn't mess with it. It's just a bunch of chemicals. It's probably rat poison for all they know.
But it's compared to what it was like when we were younger, it's fucking crazy now.
It is crazy, and kids getting their hands on something that they think is a Valium, and it ends up being fentanyl, and they're dead. It's too much of a risk that
I mean, as a parent, that would fucking do my
you
head.
have to teach your kids that you can't take those risks anymore.
There's too much. I mean, when you were growing up, all it was fucking dope. Everybody was like, do you remember Jack? When he used to go and sell mushrooms from Gelson's.
Yeah. Jack, one time when we were kids, went to we used to hang out at Century City Mart every weekend. It was like our place, and we knew all the kids that were there from the different high schools, and it's where you went and you met at the movie theater. And
I
went
would
and
drop
did your
you
thing.
off, then I would pick you up.
And my brother decided he wanted to make an extra bit of cash and went and got like freeze-dried mushrooms from Gelson's and sold them as shrooms to kids. And Mom and Dad went fucking nuts when I came home and told them, because I thought it was so naughty.
I couldn't fucking believe it. I'm like, where does he get that from? Like,
Sorry, where does he get that from?
selling, dealing.
Oh, the selling part, yeah.
I mean, it's like, do you really need to do that shit?
Well, that is all for part 1 of the great debate.
It was very good.
Very good. And don't forget to get your mushrooms from Gelson's.